Okay, so we have a real world question. Describe a distribution using a histogram. So the question is that computers and the price for a random sample of tablets are shown. So the price is given in a table. So I've typed out all our prices from a table into our spreadsheet. Values are from B3 to B34. Now we need to create the histogram. So to do that, we need some extra columns. So we need a column called the bin column. We need a column, which is going to be the frequency. And then we need a column for the interval. So for us to do this, we need to sort our data. So we can sort our data in ascending order. So if we right click, sort, and we're going to do smallest to largest. So you can see our smallest is 374 and our largest is 915. So we can set up an interval. So we can have 300 to 400. So then we can have 401. Well, let's change that to say 300 to 399. 400 to 499. 500 to 599. 600 to 699. 700 to 799. Oops. And we'll have 800 to 899 and 900 to 999. Okay, so to get the frequency, okay, we need to find out how much we have. So the first thing we need to do, the bin is going to be the maximum value. So here, the maximum value is 399, 499, okay, 599, 699, 799, 899, and 999. So that's our bin. Now to find our frequency, we're going to type in here equals frequency. We need to highlight our data. So it's going to be, we click on this one. So this gives us our frequency, so the data array. And then we need to do comma. We're going to highlight our bin. So we highlight our bin and press close brackets. And this is giving us our frequency. So I'm just going to center those. So let's put the values in the middle so we can see. Oops, Z. Okay, so in the center. So we have 4 that are going to fall into this interval. 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. Now to create our histogram, we're going to click on the frequency. So we're going to highlight the frequency. So insert, and we're going to go for a column chart. So a 2D column chart, and we're just going to move this here. Now we need to change this, so we're going to right click, and we can change the color, we can change the style. And then what we're going to do, if we click on it, we can format the data series. So this will open up here. Now what we do, the gap width, we're going to make to 1%. So it's going to bring it really close together. And if we also right click, So our data labels, we got all our different, so the axes we want to keep, the chart title, but we can have a title on our axes. So this is going to be our frequency over here. So we can type in frequency. And then our title here, this is going to be our cost in dirhams for our computer. So this is our histogram. And if we look at how our data, so we need to change these numbers at the bottom now. So we're going to look at our data intervals. So we're going to click on this again and the series. So select the data. So we can select the data. So here, for this column here, if we edit the data range, we're going to put in these intervals and press OK. So now we have our intervals 300 to 399, and this is over 9 to 999. So this is giving us a picture of our histogram. Now we can see that this is going to be positively skewed. Okay, so we're going to have a look at calculating our data on the classwizz. So on the calculator, we can go to menu, and then if we press number 6, so this is where we can see this looks like a histogram. So we're going to choose number 1. So this is one variable. So we can enter in all our data that we have here. So if we do that, okay, so I've entered all the data from my table into my calculator. I'm going to press cancel, and then I'm going to press option. Now if I want to see my data, I'll press number 3 so I can see all my data. So all 32 values are in my calculator. So if I go to option, number 2 is going to let me do the one variable calculation. So here, so I'll just make this a bit bigger, we can see that we have our average, which is our mean, 565875. Now if I wanted to check that with the data I have here, so the average, this is equals average, and this is from B3 to B34. Okay, so our calculator, so we can see 56596, and this has been rounded to 88. Now some other information there. Now we've also got the number, this 32, and the minimum value is 3374. So the min, this is equal to, we can put in the min, and B3 to B34, and we can see that our value is 374. The median, if you want the median, this is the function median, B3 to B34, and that gives us 530.5. And then if we want the maximum value, we can put in max. This is going to be equals to max, and B3 to B34, and we can see that's 915. Okay, so we can also calculate some of our statistical values in Desmos. So we can click on the plus and we can add a table. So we can either choose to add the data to X1 or to Y1. So I've done X1 and I've put all our values from the table here. So what I want to do is calculate the minimum value. So I'm going to go to function and I can find minimum. Now I'm using the X column, so I need to press X, the ABC, the A, and then it gives us the base here, so I can choose a 1, close our bracket, and it gives us 374 as the minimum value. Now if I wanted to know the maximum value, I can type in max, or I can use the function. So we have max, so the highest value in my data. So we need to go the underscore. So our maximum value is 915. Now if we want the median, so we can type median, or we can go to function, find the median. So this is going to be X underscore 1, close bracket, and it's telling us the median is 530.5. And if we wanted the quartile, so the function has got the quartile. So be careful you don't click on quantile. So we want quartile. So this is going to be our X. So X 1. Now because this is quartile 1, we need a comma and a 1 and close our brackets. So this is telling us our first quartile is at 451.5. And then if we want to find out our quartile 3, so we can go to our function and quartile again. So we're going to do X and a 1, and then comma 3 for our third quartile. So this is telling us our third quartile is at 665. So the minimum, the maximum, the median, the quartile 1, and quartile 3. This gives us our data. So this is sometimes called the 5-number summary. And we can draw a box plot using this data. So we need to compare from the mean. Now, if we wanted to do the standard deviation, we could also do this on Desmos. So the standard deviation we have here. So our X, and we can click on 1, and this gives us our standard deviation. So if you compare this data with the calculator, so we had our mean. So our mean, we work out a mean. We haven't worked out the mean, so let's do the mean as well. So the function, so we have the mean. So the mean is X and underscore 1. And this is 565. So looking at the calculator, so we've got 565 point, and it's rounded slightly, so it's very close. And then we have our standard deviation 145 here, so this hasn't been rounded. So we've got standard deviation here 143. So very close, and then other values. So we have the minimum 374, the maximum is at 915, and we can see our quartile. So we've got 451, and quartile 3 is 665. So this would be rounded to 665. So the conclusion that we're going to make here is that looking at our histogram, that we've got here the majority of our computers. So we've got a spread of data. So we've said that the skew, so it's a positive. So the data, so if we said where was the mean is greater than the median. So the majority of the data is on the left of the mean. So this is the highest point, but it's actually lower. So this is positively skewed distribution.